Connie's Chronicles is a documentary-style exploration of one Yorkshire family's hidden history. It's a journey uncovered through dusty historical archives, century-old census records, whispered family memories, and sudden, unexpected DNA discoveries.
Yeah, it actively pulls you in. Welcome to Episode 3, the 1939 Register Shock. So, right after that completely unexpected email we talked about last time, and, those initial conversations that were frankly just mind-bending, Paul realized he had a pretty serious problem.
Oh, I bet. Like a massive problem.
Yeah, exactly. He decided he needed to go back and look at the 1939 register, but he had to do it with entirely fresh eyes.
Which is such a relatable concept, honestly.
Yeah.
I mean, for you as the listener, think about a time you've had to reevaluate something you thought you already understood completely.
Oh, right, like staring at a contract or a spreadsheet.
Exactly. You look at an old document for a second or third time, and your brain just sort of glosses over the actual words. You just see the shape of what you expect to be there.
You stop reading it.
Right. But when you get forced to look again because of new context, like a mysterious email, suddenly you see all these glaring things that your brain just skipped the first time.
And Paul really needed that anchor of hard data.
Yeah?
Because to understand this, we need to explain what the 1939 register actually is.
Yeah, we should definitely unpack that because it is an incredibly important historical record for genealogists.
Right, because calling it a standard census it doesn't do it justice.
Not at all. Standard censuses are usually taken every 10 years, and they can be super vague.
Oh, totally. An enumerator just knocks on your door and jots down rough ages.
Right, you get something like John Smith, roughly 35, which is a total nightmare if you're trying to track down a common name.
But the 1939 register was different. It was born out of basically absolute administrative panic. It's September 1939. The Second World War has just started.
Right.
And the British government realizes they need a perfectly precise snapshot of the civilian population for rationing, for identity cards.
Evacuations, all of that.
Exactly. So unlike those old censuses, the 1939 register provides the exact birth dates for the people living in a household.
Day, month, and year.
Day, month, and year. Exactly. So Paul pulls up the record for the household at 4 Rope Walk in Bridlington, and he looks at those exact dates to confirm the identities. He sees George Smith, born November 1st, 1909.
Okay, that matches.
And right below him, Constance May Connie, born September 25, 1913.
Wow. So there's no guesswork there.
Yeah.
That definitively confirmed this was indeed his family's household.
Exactly. It's so validating. I kind of think of it like developing a photograph in a darkroom.
Oh, I like that analogy.
Right. At first, you just see these familiar shapes. You see George, you see Connie. The foreground comes into focus, and it's comforting.
Sure. But then, and to take that darkroom analogy a step further, it's like realizing the photo you're developing isn't just the simple family portrait.
Oh, yeah.
It's like you suddenly realize there are other figures in the background. Because confirming the parents is great, but it was the other entries in that household that suddenly turned this document into a huge puzzle.
It really did. So let's look at those other entries. We have George, we have Connie, and then right below them is Brian Ronald, listed as a single male, born May 10th, 1937. So that's 3 people clearly listed on the page: George, Connie, Brian.
3 people. Got it.
But here's the massive discrepancy. The thing Paul's brain totally glossed over the first time. At the very top of the record, there's a summary line.
What does it say?
It clearly states there are 5 people in the household.
Wait, 5 people? But you just read 3 names.
Exactly. The math doesn't add up. And when you look closely at the original handwritten document below Brian Ronald, there are these thick black redaction bars drawn straight across the page.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And stamped right over those black lines is the phrase, "This record is officially closed."
That is so ominous. Like, why would a record from 1939 be officially closed today? What does that even mean?
Well, it denotes people who might still be living. It's this UK privacy law, basically a 100-year rule.
Oh, right, because they were children at the time.
Exactly. The government can't just publish the details of people who might still be alive, so their lines are covered up unless you can prove they've passed away.
Okay, so that proves there were additional people living in that house.
Right. The record says 5 people, we only see 3. And once Paul really looked at this, he realized one of those closed records had to be an extra child, an additional girl listed in the household.
Oh my God.
And the presence of this hidden sister suddenly became the absolute key to the entire mystery.
Because that connects right back to the email.
Yes. Paul takes this realization and he has these much deeper conversations with the woman who originally sent him that unexpected email.
The one from out of the blue.
Right. And it hits him. He realizes This woman is his sister. She is literally the girl hiding behind those redacted lines on the 1939 register.
That is just wow. Imagine looking at a blacked out line on a historical document and then realizing it's the person you're actually talking to on the phone.
It's incredible. And because she was actually there, she could tell him what life was really like for the family during the 1940s and 1950s.
Right, because she has the actual lived experience, not just the paper trail.
Exactly. But the details she shared, they painted a completely different picture than the one Paul had grown up believing.
What did she say?
Well, she dropped a bombshell. She told him that in 1940, George moved to Barrow-in-Furness.
Wait, he left Bridlington.
He completely left. And he didn't go alone. He took the 3 kids from the 1939 register with him.
Oh my God.
And he took another woman.
Wait, a second woman? He started a whole new life.
Yep. George lived in Barrow-in-Furness from 1940 until his death.
Okay, hold on. For you listening, we need to pause and do the math here because this is a glaring, impossible timeline clash. Let's look at the Bridlington boys.
Let's do it.
So Maurice was born in 1941, Alan in 1943, Malcolm in 1946, and Paul in 1951.
All 4 of them.
And all 4 of those boys were born in Bridlington, right?
Every single one. Born in Bridlington.
But Barrow-in-Furness is way over on the west coast.
Mm.
Bridlington is on the east coast.
Oh.
If George has been living permanently in Barrow since 1940 with a second family, how on earth could he be having children in Bridlington between 1941 and 1951? That is geographically impossible.
It's completely impossible. You can't be living permanently in Barrow and fathering 4 boys back in Bridlington over a 10-year span.
Wow. So that means?
It means George, the man whose name was officially stamped on Paul's birth certificate and his brother's certificates, could not possibly be their biological father.
That is a crushing realization. I mean, on a personal level, realizing your birth certificate is a lie is just a heavy emotional blow. But for a genealogist,
Oh, it's a disaster.
it means the destruction of years of hard work.
It really does. Because Paul had spent more than 5 years meticulously researching the paternal line connected to George.
5 years?
Over 5 years. And it wasn't just a casual hobby. This research had created a massive branch of his family tree.
Right, because in genealogy, when you link one person, it branches out to 2 parents, 4 grandparents, and so on. It grows exponentially.
Exactly, and Paul had heavily documented all of it. But sitting there with the reality of the 1939 register and his sister's testimony, he realizes this entire lineage is a fiction.
So what does he do? He has to delete it, right?
He has to go into his archive, into his genealogy software, and sever the paternal branch. He has to highlight that link between himself and George and just delete it.
Oh, man. I can't even imagine the weight of clicking that button.
When he clicked it, he deleted over 800 ancestors from his tree in a single moment.
Wait, really? 800 people?
Over 800
Yeah.
generations of people, hundreds of years of history that he thought was his, wiped out instantly. 5 years of careful research just vanished.
That is just staggering. Think about the emotional and historical impact of that for a second.
Yeah.
You have this completed history, this solid foundation of who you are, and in a single second, it turns into an echoing empty space.
A complete void.
The paternal side of the family is just completely unknown now.
Yeah. And that is exactly where Paul is left standing. The paper trail, the birth certificates, the official documents they had completely lied to him.
They were just a fiction.
Exactly. The paternal history is a total void. And now, the search has to begin all over again.
Which leaves you with such a provocative question, honestly. When government documents and your own birth certificate can no longer be trusted, where do you turn to find the truth of who you are?
You can't trust the paper.
Exactly. You have to bypass paper entirely.
Yeah.
If the documents lie, you have to look into biology.
Yeah.
DNA testing is going to have to become the essential next step to uncovering the true paternal line.
It's the only way forward.
It really is. You've been listening to Connie's Chronicles, Preserving the Past, Connecting the Future.